Good evening, chat. Oh, fresh cup of coffee and lots of code. Let's see here. So I switched things up. I went from Notepad++, which is what I typically write code with. I decided I wanted a little bit of help, so I started using Visual Studio Code. Not my preferred editor, not gonna lie. If I'm going to use Visual Studio, I prefer to use Visual Studio, not this. But there are advantages to this, in that it works a lot like Vim, where you can basically turn it into like NeoVim if you want to, with all the shortcut keys and stuff. I don't use NeoVim, so not really my thing, and I don't particularly have any interest in that strength. Just check here. I'm live here. Good. And I'm live here. I am. Okay. No errors. I mean, other than the bitrate, what it always complains about. Okay. Fun fact, I can't actually turn my my bitrate up any higher than it is. Or it makes my videos act really wonky, which my videos are like little gear icon on the corner here. There we go, just move that around. That bad boy, that's a video. It's fully animated, MP4. And, actually, you know what, I kind of don't like that there. It's sort of obscuring things. We should remove that. Anyway, it makes that video act janky if I turn the bitrate up, and I'm not entirely sure if that's a problem with my GPU or if it's a problem with OBS or it's because I don't know how bitrates work. It's more than likely the problem. So, but one problem at a time. We're doing this. I did get this worked out so that I'm not accidentally exposing any sensitive information. It does dump sensitive information to a config file. That's weird. It shouldn't have done that. Oh wait, yes it should have. Yes it should have. Okay. All right. So if we're tracking this from the start, the script actually starts right here. This is the actual like things that that process and run. It starts with start HTTP servers function, which is a function I defined at the very top of this. Right. Okay. Am I dumb? I'm gotta be dumb, right? See that? Oh, here it is. Yeah, it's right here. Which just calls start HTTP and start HTTPS functions, which are here and here respectively, and they just create the HTTP listener and the HTTPS listener. So functionally, two micro web servers built right into the script right here. But as of right here, they don't actually do anything because they won't accept the connection. They don't have any defined routes, which a route doesn't get defined until I need one later, which is right here. This app get callback. This is a route. And this is in the get new authentication token function, which when my access token is no longer good, I can call this function and it will make an attempt to get me a new one from scratch, which also prompts the user, a la me, to open a web browser and click it's okay for this app to use my Twitch content. Basically, it's the linking thing that you've seen 1,000 times. Hello, Lovebug, in my chat. How are you? So I'm currently writing the code to refresh my tokens. So when you send when this function fires, it sends a request to the OAuth server, which then gives me a temporary code. That gets when the request URI or the callback URI is fired, which is what happens when you push the authorize button. It comes back to one of the micro web servers built into this, and I can pull from the query the code that I get. I can then use that code, which is right here, literally in the then part of this. I can take that response data and I get an access token and a refresh token by sending that code to the OAuth 2 token endpoint. That refresh token is what I need here. This, by the way, all gets saved to a config file right here. This is a cool little utility class that I wrote that just does some file I/O for me to make my life easier. So, by the way, if you haven't noticed, I take my naming conventions from Apache. So we're going to take here, we're going to shoot a post request over to OAuth token because that's how you do it. Okay. Actually, this is authorized. Yeah, when you call this endpoint, the token endpoint, it has to be a post request. You cannot use HTTP GET or any other HTTP method. It must be post, or it'll throw an error. And it needs the client ID, which is in my config file, the client secret, which is in my config file. The grant type must be refresh token. That's telling you that I'm using a refresh token, which is right here, to get a new access token. That's going to be here, and just in case I get a new refresh token, that's going to be there too. So we can actually say if response data refresh token not equal undefined. Just for a little bit of error proofing here, real quick. Because if it is undefined, this will still fire, and it'll fill this value with undefined, and it'll wipe my refresh token out of the config file. When I resave it, which I'm going to do right here, okay. That will make a copy of this variable, ship it to this function, and then it will save the disk. And that is, I believe, a synchronous fire. It is synchronous, yes. I could do it as an async thing, but you know what? Let me do that actually. Oh,
We've got ads.
oh, we got ads already. Okay, it's an error handler then. That callback. Okay. That's one of them. I wanted to make sure. We're not going to use that just yet, though. We're just going to do this for now, and I'll get into whether or not I want to take that route in a second. This needs to be the other way around, though, I think. We want to resolve the end of this. Although all of that code will still fire, resolve and reject, I feel like, are return statements, even though they're not. But they are functionally the end of when processing happens. Resolve will only ever be fired, or reject will only ever be called one time, no matter what else happens within the function body. So once one of them happens, you're done. No more will fire, although it will still keep processing logic. At least for that particular scope. Alright. So now here, if this works, we're going to say, we're not going to say get new auth token. We're going to say refresh token. Refresh token. This takes no arguments, but it does return a promise. So we'll say then, and then in this context has no arguments. So then we're gonna is token valid. If not token is valid, then we'll say console log refresh token did not return a valid access token. And we'll get into why that is soon. Alright. This can actually go my way. That. And this. Let's see what it does. Stored token is not valid. Okay. And it did not break my config file, which means it failed to fire this command. And that makes sense. Because that was incorrectly spelled. Okay. Missing client ID. Now, that's not true. It's there. Spell it C-L-I-E-N-T, C-L-I-E-N-T. Alright, we're gonna try this. So, fun fact, good JSON is supposed to be quoted pretty much anywhere there isn't a number or another data construct. All strings should be quoted. But that did not work. Still says missing client ID. So let's look at the docs real quick. That's Discord. Need client ID, client secret, grant type, and refresh token. I am sending a client ID, client secret, grant type, refresh token. So that's all 4 things. But obviously something's wrong with the way Axios is being set up. So let's look here. I'm also using Axios here. Okay, yeah. So what we'll do here is we'll say catch error. Console log error body. Oh, error response body, because it's an error object, it contains the response. Undefined. That's neat. That's not supposed to happen. That's kind of odd. So this is still dying here and not getting to the point here where it saves because it's throwing the reject. It said undefined, meaning that this doesn't have value. Okay, it dropped error that time? Yeah, it did, but it didn't print anything. Or did it? I can't tell. Okay, we're looking at a bad request. Status 400. That's a request ID, by the way, chat, not my access token. So, my access token is much longer than that. Got a grant type fresh token. You got that. So never be afraid of this. This is Gemini, by the way. I will ask Gemini questions, but I almost never use its code verbatim. And if you look here, this is identical to what I have. Oh, there's an await there. First of all, I probably should be using that. That's a good call. We're going to await that. You can't await that, right? Because it's not allowed. This is an async function. What are you talking about? I just want to see. Wait, yeah, it doesn't like that. Whatever. I know you can call await, and because I do it here in an async function. So that's weird. Which tells me there's probably something wrong, right? Like there's a syntax error somewhere that's confusing the parser. But we'll get to that in a minute. Actually, let's just check this out. I can just control AC, right? I can come here, syntax, check the following code. There we go. It's actually a fair bit of code. This is a lot for an AI to handle. It usually only writes like it only likes to handle like 2 or 3 functions at a time. And I just dumped the entire script in there, so I'm burning liters and liters of water right now. I'm gonna confuse it. It's gonna get mad. God, it's just a syntax checker. Okay, we're just gonna stop that. We'll just end that there. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go here, we're gonna go JavaScript, syntax, check. There we go. Syntax validator. Code is syntactically valid. Okay, so that's fine. Alright. Is it not like await because it's inside of a promise? Is that a thing? I don't know. Use await here. That's not a promise though. Huh. Oh, I probably should not have closed Gemini. I'm being paged. Huh, that's special. I must have clipped my 2 key or something. I wonder how long that's been like that. Yeah, eat me. Okay, so we're gonna roll back up to the previous question and answer, which is this bit here. Okay, so we say async refresh token. I don't need it handed as an argument because I've got it in a config file that I can just pull. So then there's the URL. This is a post request, client ID, client secret, grant type, refresh token. Okay. So now here. I don't know why that's doing that. Doesn't really make any sense. Response data access token. So here's a funny thing. Gemini doesn't use it here, but Axios methods actually are promises. So you can use the then catch phrasing with them. We're just gonna shift things around. It shouldn't matter, but it might draw attention to what the real problem is. Yeah, missing client ID. It doesn't like that. Is client ID null? No. No, it is not. So check this out. We're just going to say right here, console log config client ID. Actually, we're going to say console error, because it'll put it in bright red text if I do it that way. It says undefined. Okay. So that tells me that this is not working. Config has no value. And I can't dump that to this. All right, we're gonna, you know what the problem? Oh, you know what? We try calling the utils class get JSON from file all right. That's my client ID, right? Okay, but refresh token did not turn a valid access token. All right, we can get this out of here. Wonder why my get config function failed. Because it's firing async. So what was happening is this was firing, and then because it was happening async, it just kept going. And it wasn't returning fast enough for config to have a value when I was first using it. Get JSON from file, I know is an absolute synchronous call, which is important for this. I need that to have a value immediately. So if it hangs the script for a second, it hangs the script for a second. It's not a big deal. I can't do anything without this data anyway, so the script might as well wait. All right, so we're gonna say this is what fired. Now, is token valid? This is a problem, right? And I think this is wrong. Is token valid hits this endpoint. Huh. Okay, so that's what's happening. This isn't working. This is throwing an error. That error is that we're missing client ID, probably. No. Alright, so we're going to also say console error response body. Undefined. Okay. OAuth token missing. It's not though, it's right there. I'm gonna put this over here now, because I have to print the OAuth token. Access token. Alright. No, it's right. It's there. It doesn't like the way these headers are being sent. Because that's weird as shit. Because it was saying that this was wrong too. Alright, so check here. Not here. OAuth. Actually need Twitch. Is that event sub? and Helix. Oh, actually, let me look up Axios host. That'll work. Forming a post request, right? But this is this query? Is this headers? What is this? Header. Doing thing. Okay. Huh. Alright, so now let's see what... This is the body, basically, right? Like, because these are the headers. I actually do want to add that. OAuth token is missing. Okay. Wait, not. API config. Access token. And then immediately after that, throw checkpoint. So it stops running. It actually did not throw. That's very funny. Also very funny, this ran twice. Because I told it to down here. Is token valid? This forces that code to run. This code. But it did in fact print my access code twice. And both times it's different. It should be. Alright, so we're gonna remove that.
We've got ads.
And we got ads. make a lot of sense. Also dumping the entire request object, which is huge. Oh no, I'm sorry, it's dumping everything. It's missing. Huh. Well, chat, I don't know. I've been working on it for literally all day. This is the first time this has happened, but it's the first time I've gotten far enough into it to understanding that this has been happening. I am sadly very much tired. I've been awake all day, which is a bit silly to say, but I'm actually not usually awake all day. I usually have a nap in the middle of the day, and when I know I'm going to stream, I typically wake up a little bit later to prepare myself for this. Unfortunately, I've been awake since 4:30 in the morning, and it is now 11 o'clock at night. So, and if there's one thing I've learned from writing code and from doing this for so long is that trying to do it when your brain is not operating optimally is only going to lead to more and more frustration. So, if you take anything away from this, take away from the fact that you should rest when you need it so that you can focus when you have to. Yeah. Alright, I will do this again tomorrow night. Hopefully a little bit earlier than 10 o'clock. And we'll see.